You're also known as the turnaround king of Canada, I think. And you have in your book a template that you say you apply when you first look at a new corporation and its prospects and its past.
Oh, yeah.
You want to explain us a little bit about how you get started in a new venture?
Yeah, doing these exercises, and I want to emphasize, because my wife, who's sitting over here, Penny, was very strong in the car coming over here. She said, you have to tell everybody that you didn't cause these problems. You were put in there to fix them. And that's pretty well the truth. I mean, I wasn't a Bill Ackman trying to take over the CP or Boone Pickens or Carl Icahn or whatever. I mean, I was just asked to go in there. As I told you, I went into Mitel quite innocently through the offices of Albert Natt, a lawyer friend. So all these so-called situations I found myself in, I was having to deal with issues that I didn't create. And so after you do it, it's like everything else. If you're a good criminal lawyer, after your 25th or 250th case, you probably build a certain expertise. I felt I built a certain expertise in dealing with these situations. And through that, and I think it's in the last chapter of the book, I developed a sort of a template. When I go into a company that's seemingly in difficulties, I ask for a sort of a three-part matrix. One is the income statement by product, major products or brands or whatever, the capital, CapEx, and the capital employed. And a lot of people that run companies don't really want to pay much attention to capital employed. And then the number of people you got and the output per person. And so when you put this together, it was true of my Mitel experience when I went in the second time, because the first time I'd been yelling and screaming about getting this kind of information, and it didn't come. And finally, after a lot of screaming, one day my friend Albert called me and he said, I just saw the 87-page executive summary of what you've been looking for. I said, that's fantastic, send it over to me. I literally sat in my kitchen for about 4.5 hours with a calculator one Saturday morning, and I put all this onto one page. And on that page, it showed where you were. If you did sit, you suddenly could see where you weren't making money, where you were losing money, where you weren't returning on your capital, where there were too many employees per revenue. It was all there. And I said, if you could unscramble this egg and move things around so that you can reduce the number of people, reduce the investment, maybe you lose a little bit of revenue, but in the case of Mitel, as I remember, the revenues were like 500 million back in whenever that was, 1992, 91 actually, and it was losing 30, 40 million. On my little exercise, revenues went to 450, but capital employed went from 200 million to 95 million, and you had a 30% return on your capital. So I got the 30 people into the room, the top people in the room, and I just handed them this sheet of paper. I said, this is our plan. I don't know who's going to do what. We're going to have to figure that out, but that's what's going to happen.